Okay, so I just started it.
Oh, there I, okay, so join with video.
And then do you just take off? Do you take off the portion where?
Well, I can't. Yeah, I could probably do that. I can't stop it now because you're the host.
Okay.
But you can press pause if you click on the recording. It should give you a pause option.
Oh, okay. But okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Yvonne. I am at the San Jose Gateway office, and I'm excited to be with you today. Since I could only see one person at a time, I don't know how many we have currently. Who'd like to be my helper today?
I am not much experienced agent. I only closed one transaction. That's
Oh,
it.
I just need help with who's there and all that. So you want to be my helper?
Me? Oh.
Yes. Oh,
I
anybody?
can easily mess up your presentation, trust me.
Okay. Who would like to be my helper? That I just need to know who's there. Let me know who's there on the class. Anybody?
I'm only on for a short bit, but I can help in the meantime.
Okay. Okay, so Art, hi Art, Art's here. All right, what I'd like to do is go through and everybody take 1 minute or less and tell us about yourself, your experience in real estate, and how many listings have you had? Kevin, you start.
Sure. My name is Kevin. I'm out of the San Jose Gateway office with Yvonne. I've been in real estate for about a year, and I haven't had any listings yet, so this is definitely something I want to focus on.
Great. Okay, Kevin, you let the next person, whoever that is, know who they are.
Sure, go ahead. I guess we'll start with May.
Okay. Hi, my name is Mayo Cal, Santa Cruz office I work in. My coach is Renee, you probably know her. I got my license in October. I started practicing real estate beginning of the December. And since December, I closed only one transaction. I represented buyer during COVID time, probate sale. I closed in a month, so that was pretty good.
Very good.
And I realized that I gave so much commission like I distribute people. So I decided that I want to be a listing agent because you put one listing out there and like you get 10 offers. You don't need to do anything. Houses sold already.
Oh my gosh, we don't have to do anything? Oh, good thing you're in class.
Well, yeah, of course we do, but it's easier than presenting buyer, because with buyer you have to work for months.
Right back.
And so I really want to present listings now. I want to have listings. And next, Art, go. Or maybe we should wait for Yvonne.
Yeah, sure. Sure. I can't see everybody in here. Somehow this meeting is the view probably is different. And
we are only 6. Don't worry.
All right.
Oh, probably that's why. Yeah.
Yeah, we are only 6.
Okay. Hi everybody. My name is Art. I've been working with Yvonne lately, and with the Keller Williams Gateway office. I received my license in November. Yes, and yeah, I started practicing in the month of February. I'm still learning. I have not closed any transactions yet, but I tried many transactions to close, but I could sense I have an experience of like how close it is to like lose a transaction from your hand, but no transactions yet. Looking forward to have more transactions to close listing transactions and buyer transactions probably this year. Still learning with you guys, and I'm happy that I'm in a great team right now.
Absolutely. And all of you that are newer, you've only been in the real estate business less than a year. So give yourself time. It's just a matter of time until you get your transactions going. Okay, thank you, Art. All right, who's next, Kevin?
The next person is let's do Stacy.
Stacy? Okay.
Oh, hi, my name is Stacy. Can you hear?
Yep.
Okay, so I haven't joined with any Kelly Williams yet. I just observed. I got my license last year. So I just learning curve right now. So just
Good. So Stacy, do you have your license in any brokerage, or you haven't decided?
no, not yet. Not-
Okay, got it. Got it. So you haven't done any transactions yet?
No, not at all.
Got it. Okay, well, welcome.
Thank you.
There's another agent came up, Lee.
Oh, good. Okay, Kevin, is there anyone else before Lee?
I don't believe so. The other person should be Renee, I think.
Oh, or Renee.
Keller Williams San Jose. Is that Renee? Come
That's-
on, Renee.
Well, she was
No,
helping.
Renee, our MCA.
Yeah. Renee was helping me get the PowerPoint up. So she's going to be available if we need her. Okay. Hi, Lee. How you doing?
He's muted.
I'm fine. How are you guys doing?
Wonderful. Lee, tell us about yourself. How long have you been in business?
I got my license in 1979, and I became a broker in 1984. And for 22 years, I was the broker of Great American Realty and home loans here in San Jose.
Cool. So loads and loads of experience, you guys, that we can learn from Lee. I love it. I love it. You know, we can't beat the experience that Lee's gone through. You know, I got my license in 06, so I have some years of experience, and I go to people like Lee that's been in business for a long time with my questions. So, and look at him, he's still coming to classes.
Well, of course. Of course.
Isn't that, so you guys, Kevin and Art and May and Stacy, and me too, I'm a student at heart. Because every day we can learn something. And in this real estate business, it's forever moving. It's forever evolving. And it's super important. And all the classes are very helpful. So I commend you all for being here. Now, again, I can only see one person at a time. So Kevin or May, help me out. If you see anybody else join, can you just pause? I mean,
Sure.
ask me to wait. And for me, you guys, if you've ever been in any of my classes, I want a lot of interaction, please. Even though you newer agents that we have, a majority of you, you have a lot of input. You might not think so, but you also do. And even your questions are helpful. All right, so anybody else have joined, Kevin?
No, that should be it.
Okay, great. All right. So I'd like to start by first of all asking all of you, were you able to get the manual? Who's been able to go to all 4 classes so far? There was 2 last week, Randy's yesterday, and this one.
I missed all of them. This is the first one.
Okay, it's all right.
Shame on me.
No,
Me
no.
too.
Who's me too?
R does me too.
Oh, me. Okay. The beauty of it, you did not miss it. These are all been recorded. Does everybody know where to find it? The recording
No.
on our group Facebook. Kevin, what's the name of
Okay.
that? Our group Facebook.
It's I think it's KW San Jose Gateway Santa Cruz. It's basically the names of all of our offices.
Right. It's on
And
Facebook.
if you Google one of our offices, it should come up in the search.
Yeah.
I'll put it in the chat.
Oh, wonderful. So everybody, that Facebook group, it's really a great tool. And it's a way that we're all connected. Before COVID, we were not really connected with our other 3, well, with the total of 3 offices. And I love how we've been able to connect. We're getting to know each other. And our coming soons, because of the new rule with the cooperate, what's that called again? Clear cooperation. Once we get a listing, if we announce it in any fashion to the public, it's got to be on the MLS within 24 hours. 24 or 48?
24.
24, that's what I thought. I just wanted to confirm. Thank you, guys. So, so super important that we're able to connect. And plus, what I've been doing is posting my listings. So this class is, what's the name of our series that we've been working on?
Win with sellers.
Right. Okay. So what I'm going to go through today is the last few chapters. And I want to go to this slide. Has anybody been to all 4 classes? Lee, Kevin?
I just got involved, so I'm getting started. I'm kind of the green pea in the office.
You are not the green pea. Oh, you know, you are the jolly green giant. I would not call you a green pea at all. If anything, you're the jolly green giant.
Okay.
You just gotta get acclimated to our office, you know. And so welcome.
Thank you.
Alrighty, so not important. The only reason why I'm asking is I don't want to be redundant to a lot of things that were already covered. Now, Keller Williams is so big on training and education. That was one of the key points what brought me to KW. The manual, wait, can you, I can't even see myself. Can you guys see me okay?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good. So the manual, today we have chapter 6, 7, and 8. And at the end, it's scripts and toolkits. You can get the manual off of KW Connect. That's where everything is. And it's under KW University. This manual, it's not, I mean, it's a good tool. Sorry you guys don't have it. When we're in class, it's good so you can follow and you can, because the PowerPoint is only highlights. So, and it's good. I'm a note taker. So whether it's digital or paper. All right, so chapter 6. We are talking about once we get into contract, all the previous 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it starts with the lead generation, the pre-listing. Randy talked about marketing and offers negotiations yesterday. So now the fun begins. We are in contract. So Lee, just you and I have had listings on this class so far.
I see.
In our class today. And typically, you know, we're going to get newer agents and so on. So we're going to gear some of the majority of the info towards newer agents where they're at. So for all of you that are with us today, what do you want to make sure that we talk about? That we covered today? Anybody? Don't be shy now. Come on. What do you want to make sure that you know when you at the end of this class?
I think I like to know when I have a chance to get a listing, I like to know the way of the language you use to introduce staging, painting, window cleaning, gardening, you know, like making up house, you know, like make up house, a little bit decorating house, you know, how you clean up, how you get for ready for staging, and how you convince seller that you need to clean up your house a little bit before you put it on the market, right? Because you want to get best price possible and you have to spend some money before you get the best price. Or completely opposite, they don't want to spend any money. They just want to sell the house, get the money, get the equity, and downsize, you know, like two different versions. And I like to talk about like how you present. Staging helps 75% easier sales, or like makes better offers, brings better offers, or like gardening cleanup, putting swing, or, you know, like things like that.
Perfect.
Do
Now,
you get my point?
yes, absolutely. May I will say that was yesterday.
Yeah, I thought that.
But no, but that's the highlight was yesterday. Please go back and watch Randy, but we'll touch on it. Okay, anybody else? What would you like to make sure we cover today with the category of contract to close, and what do we do after we close?
I
We
would
just
like
talk
to-
about, yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, go ahead. Okay, I'll
We
go ahead.
just, you go with that, and then I will take my turn.
Okay. I would like to learn how to read the contract in front of the clients in a layman's language. I mean, I do know, but I think I do need to you know, polish my confidence.
Absolutely.
When I'm talking, because I don't want to just read the contract like a lawyer, like a legal, all the legal terms. Like, how could we translate that into like a human-friendly action?
Right.
When we're talking to the client.
Okay. I'm going to answer that real quick. Anyone that I help, whether it's a mentor or somebody comes and asks me questions, especially newer agents, I always tell them the same thing. Get into that RPA. That's, if you don't go to any classes, you should be in that RPA day one. Day one of getting into real estate. Everything you're going to need to know is in the RPA for the most part. That is your bread and butter. That is the ABCs of our business. And to the way you get confident, Art, and the way you can present it is by knowing it. We got to read it. How many paragraphs? Okay, who can tell me? I wish I had a prize. I'm going to get a prize. Whoever gets the answer, I owe you a prize. Now, don't look at it. You guys, don't cheat. No cheating. How many paragraphs are in the RPA?
I know there are 10 pages.
Good. How many paragraphs? Who can tell me how many paragraphs?
Khalid Mahmoud says 21.
No.
Malaga?
Okay, you guys look it up. Who can find it first?
No.
Oh my goodness. We got to talk about the RPA. All right. Okay, I'm going to tell you there's 32 paragraphs. So when you're going through now it's not a contract until you get into contract. So I'm going to call it the RPA when you're first learning. When you go through the RPA, it's broken up in paragraphs. Take it page by page. You guys, when you're early, just learning the business, starting, take 1 page a day. 1 page a day on that purchase agreement. Study it. That's how it's going to help you, Art, to be able to explain it. Okay, so got that question out of the way. And so how many paragraphs are in the RPA?
32.
32.
Very good. So if you walk away with anything today, study the RPA and how many paragraphs. Because when you're on the phone with your client, because these days we're going to do a lot of things more digitally, right? Hey, so on paragraph 14, that is where you're going to find our contingency for property contingency. So Art, that's how many days would you like for your contingency? So you're going to go by paragraphs. Don't go by pages. Paragraph. Oh, it's paragraph 2. Oh, paragraph 4. Okay, so just want to make that clear. All right. What are the questions that we want to make sure that you'd like us to answer? Anybody else? Stacy, Kevin, Lee.
I want to know, how do you take your listing after you close? Like how you take it down from MLS? I think our transaction coordinator takes care of everything, right?
Oh, do they? No.
No?
On that note, good question, mate. On that note, I love Lindsay. Thank God for Lindsay.
Your TC?
Thank God for our transaction coordinators, because my expertise, I mean, I can do it, but that's not my expertise. But what I want to say to everybody, we, the agent, we are 100% responsible for our file. Okay? We don't want to say, oh, well, you know what, my TC didn't have that signed. No. We are 100% responsible. Okay, what other questions? All right, well, unless something's super pressing, let's just move forward. The reason why the circle, and now this material was dated, it was improved, and it was 2017. So this is 3 years old. KW periodically does updates. So there's nothing going to be about COVID. There's nothing going to be about anything related to that whatsoever. All right. So the reason why they've made it a circle is because it's never ending with our clients. And that's the purpose of the circle. It says seller's service cycle. So it's a cycle, I should say cycle, not a circle. Okay, so that's the purpose of that. Now, where we're at now is we got into contract. And that's where our getting into contract is part 1. Part 2 of a transaction is when we're in contract. And there are so many variables. So we're going to just be talking today in general terms. Okay. All right. So then we're going to go on. Oops. Let's see. Oops. I'm going the wrong way. Okay. Who'd like to be Gary Keller for the day? Lee, would you like to read this?
Sure. When it comes to bulletproofing the transaction, take the everything will go wrong approach. Assume everything will go wrong and come with ways to possibly prevent them from happening or effectively deal with them. And I'd like to make a comment.
Yes, please.
Whether you're a novice or a green pea at this business, or you've been in it a long time, it's a really good idea before you present an offer, you wrote an offer for the client. It's really important you take that offer and present it to someone in your office. You're going to present an offer, so do a dry run in front of a couple people and say, well, what about this? Or you left yourself open there. Or did you include the washer and dryer? Why didn't you include the home warranty? Why do you have the buyer paying the home warranty, etc.? So if you do some dry runs, and just as a comment, for some people that are not visual learners, and there's 7 levels or 7 different types of learners. What happens with a lot of people is they're visual, but they need to be activated, which means they've got to talk to someone. So if you try to do this and just try to breadboard this at home where you just got the paper in front of you and you're by yourself, the odds are that you might have a little problem with focusing if you're not a visual learner. So it might be a better idea to team up with somebody and actually go over not only your listing presentations and to the gal, I'm sorry, I forgot her name, who was asking about how do you do this. The way you do this, May, the way you do this, May, is you have a process. You see, businesses succeed or fail based on their systems, their processes. So when you come into a client's house that's never met you and you want to make sure you build that confidence of trust, you should first be a person, a very nice people person, but you have to know your process like that. So that means that you practice with a few other people and they'll show you where your shortcomings are. And all you got to do is understand that everybody's trying to make you better. But what's most important in front of the client, your process is to be so well understood that they realize that when you come to the table, what you're providing for them is your expertise or your resources of expertise and your ability to understand the process and your perspective about how to get their property sold. If you keep on those 3 things and you practice this thing to where you are bulletproof when you step into that living room to pitch your listing or step into that Zoom camera, what happens is confident agents get the listing. Not necessarily because they're better at their data analysis, but they're better with dealing with people and they understand the process and where they fit in it.
Ooh, that's words of wisdom right there.
Thank you, Lee.
Listen, May, let me give you another example. Let's say you're going to do an open house and you want to know something about the open house. You've never done it before. Do this. Review the last 10 open houses in the neighborhood and call all those listing agents, ask how it's done, and then call the last 10 sales. So when you're at the open house, and even if it's a visual one, someone calls you up or gets you on your camera and says, well, how does this price compare? You say, well, listen, the Gadsby's had the house listed right behind it, but it didn't have such a nice kitchen. It sold a little less. And the Andersons were in foreclosure. You probably see that low sale, right? Yeah. Well, the Andersons were in a jam for 6 months. They got a forbearance. They finally had to close. You know what happens is you as a green pea, since you know the data and you've done your homework, no one's going to think you're a green pea. They're going to think you're the smartest agent in that neighborhood that they've ever spoken to. Because most people don't do the work. You call 10 listing agents to find out in that neighborhood, and then 10 agents that have closed sales. You're going to be the smartest agent that anyone talks to at an open house. And it's amazing that people don't take advantage of this kind of opportunity, because what happens is people that succeed in business succeed not because of their individual efforts, although a lot of attention is paid to that. They succeeded because they have a system.
Yes. And on that note, I want to add, because it's a little overwhelming when you're new. Okay. I want to add what Lee just said. It's a simple phone call. It would be something like, oh, hi, Lee, this is Yvonne Keller Williams. How are you?
Just fine. How you doing?
Good. Hey, Lee, you know what? I have a buyer interested in the area that you just sold on Hofstetter. How'd that listing go? How many offers did you get?
Well, you know, we had a lot of interest. In fact, we sent out 20 disclosure packages, but we only had 3 offers come in.
Oh, great, great. And did you just select the, or did your seller just select an offer, or did they counter anyone?
No, this is a real story like one of my listings, the one on Allen Avenue. What happened was they didn't take the top 2 offers. They took the 3rd offer because that agent that represented those buyers included in their offer a letter of how important that house would be to that young family.
Oh,
but more,
okay.
they took a nice color photograph of them and the family. They wrote a nice letter. They had a nice pre-qual letter, and they did something else. They had the lender reach out to the listing agent before the presentation and tell that listing agent that these people were really well qualified. So what happened was that when my seller looked at all 3 offers,
Hmm.
The one that she knew the most about was the lowest offer, but they took that.
Oh, wow. God bless that.
This really did happen.
Oh, yes. In fact, I'll tell you the better part of the story. My clients were mooches, you know, in the hottest market in San Jose. We're looking at $1.1 million offer. My client came in to make the big announcement. He's going to offer $8,000 over asking. There were 9 offers in 6 days. We were $110,000 below the top offer. There's a thing called the ethos close. On the ethos close, you want to make an emotional connection with the seller. The seller was sitting in a vacant large house that had not been repaired for 40 years. She had 2 weekends of open houses while the other agent was dying to get some people to go through it. I asked my clients to go by every day of the open house. I asked them to bring their little daughter with them. I asked them to bring over some cookies to the lady that was holding the open house when it was 100 degrees outside and some iced tea. They did so. Here's what they did. 9 offers came in, and the listing agent, imagine you being a listing agent making this phone call to me. Says, listen, Lee, we had a lot of offers a lot higher than yours, but my seller likes your client so much, they decided to give you the counter for the top offer. Now imagine if you were the agent representing the buyers that did the 110,000 over asking, and you got this phone call that said, we appreciate your offer, but unfortunately it went with somebody else. Because they're going to ask, weren't we the highest offer? And the listing agent's going to say yes, but my seller decided to only counter 1 offer, and it wasn't yours. But she never told them why. So even if you've got a low offer, you want to sell the strength of the clients on a non-contractual basis. You want to sell them as people to people. And you'll find that ethos closing, it's like Fabian strategies. No matter what, you're going to find out if you talk to enough listing agents, the top offer, the highest priced offer is not always the one the seller gets. What the seller wants is connection. And we're in the business of connection, not data, not AI. We're actually in the business of connecting people with people. And once they understand that you kind of understand who they are and how you can contribute to their process, you'll be successful.
Yep. So that's a great story. That's it's a unique story. But that buyer had to come up, right, Lee?
Oh, he had to accept the counteroffer of 110,000 over what he offered. Yes.
So it wasn't just a personal touch, but so the seller wanted their price, but was hoping that connection that they made, that personal connection, would also work. So that's a great story. So my point was, if I could just ask 2 questions like, oh, okay, great. Hey, Lee, thanks for your time. I really appreciate it. Maybe that's a 2 or 3 minute phone call that I would make. And what Lee is suggesting is to call the other agents just to get a little bit more info. You don't need a ton of info. Don't overwhelm your clients with too much info. There's already enough paperwork and all the disclosures that our buyers have to go through or the sellers have to go through. So, but hey, you know, I checked with the other agents in the area, and this is the information I found. And the seller will be impressed by saying, oh, wow, you know, excuse me, they might not say that they're impressed. You know how they say that they're impressed? They select you for their agent. And it's just a little bit of information. Don't overwhelm yourself and don't overwhelm your clients. We want to, you know what comment that I get often, but there's this one in particular. And you know what she said to me? I just met her. I met the couple at an open house. I welcome them just like I welcome somebody into my home. And this was in 2017 when the market was very aggressive. And so I welcomed them and I said, hey, how you doing today? How's your search going? And you know what? She went like this. Oh. I said, really? Are you not having fun in this? She said, fun? No. I said, well, why aren't you having fun? It's great. It's great to be looking for a house. With my first house, I had so much fun. And she goes, wow, you're the only person that's ever said that we should be having fun. So keep things light. As I mentioned yesterday, if you were in Randy's class, we do a ton of work in the back back in the backgrounds. When we're with our clients, we need to simplify it for them. You know, make it, you're professional, but simplify it. Get to the point. Now, we're going to have some people that want more details. Okay, we'll give those type of people more details, but we can be more efficient. We should be more efficient to help our clients, especially during these days. I mean, there's so much more, I guess, stress going through this COVID. We've had to adjust a ton, everybody, not real estate related, just our lives. We want to be a breath of fresh air, like, oh, great. You know, May, she's always so positive and she's always lets us know what's happening. And that's the biggest thing that they want to know, especially now we're in contract, right? Okay, so as you guys can see, I'm not that great with PowerPoints. I don't follow it a lot, but okay, but anyway, let's see. Let's go to the next slide. Contract to close flow. All right, we're gonna just touch on this a little bit because I will let you know. Has anybody else joined, Kevin? Anybody new?
Kevin is gone. We have Viviana and Rachna and Khalid Mahmoud.
Oh, great. We have 3 new people.
3 new people, but we are now 9 people in total.
Okay, but
Kevin
no
is
Kevin.
gone.
So May, you're my assistant,
Okay.
please.
It's
Okay.
okay.
Okay. So Viviana, hi Viviana. I know Viviana. And the other 2, how much experience? Hi Viviana. How much experience? Hi, sweetie. The other 2 agents that just joined us.
I'm coming back. I'm sorry.
What? Don't be sorry. And I know you guys were not with us when we very first started. Whenever I do a class, super interactive. Please.
Okay.
All right. So the other 2 agents, I'm sorry I didn't jot the names. How long?
Khalid and Rachna.
Raj,
This is Khalid. I've been in the business 2007.
oh, you're like me.
Yeah.
2007. How many listings have you had?
Since 2007, too numerous to count.
Okay, so quite a few.
Yeah.
Okay, and the other person? Who's the other agent that joined us? I'm sorry,
Rachna.
I could only see one person at a time.
Rachna.
Rachna, how many how long have you been an agent?
5 years.
Okay, wonderful. How many listings have you had?
Just 1.
1. Okay, wonderful. Viviana, how many listings have you had? Approximate.
Maybe 20, 25.
25?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, great. So, alrighty. So everyone, please, again, interact at any time. Alrighty, so contract to close flow. These are the 5 points that the instructor who, the individuals that prepared this, the manual wants us to cover. And we're gonna go through this very quickly because I'll tell you, more of the stories and their interacting in our class interaction is what you're gonna remember. Because these things, you're gonna have, when you get a listing, you're gonna work with whoever you are, whether it's your mentor or your coach. They're gonna walk you through this step by step. Just hearing it in class, you're not, we don't remember it. We have to go through the process to really understand, okay, what does clear title? I mean, just on these 5 points, we can take 2 hours to go through these 5 points. So in these classes, it's an overview. And this is when after class, you go to your mentor and say, hey, you know, I would like to know a little bit more detail. What exactly do I need to do to make sure we have a clear title? Is that really my role? So things of that nature. So clear title, what that means is when a seller is selling their home, the buyer is when it's transferred at closing, the title is completely clear of any liens, any ownership problems, not problems, but anybody that has ownership. So when the buyer gets the home, they're not going to worry that, oh, well, somebody's going to come and say, hey, well, you know what? I had part ownership, so that transaction was not valid. That is the title company's role. That's their main role from the title company. We do need to know all these things, but we also need to know what's important is that whose main responsibility are these things. One time, one of the classes that I attended, the instructor said, we as the agent, the listing agent, we're like the conductor of the symphony. And the symphony, if we can picture the symphony, there's many, many, many components, right? Many instruments. But we are, and they each have their role and their importance. So I love that analogy because it's so true. Escrow and title, it's a huge component to our listing and when we get into contract. Okay, then the second bullet point is the loan and when it's funded. So what happens if we don't have a loan? Has anybody had an all cash buyer?
Yes.
Yep. I've had all cash buyers.
Yeah.
Yep. So we don't need a underwriting. We minus that whole component of a loan, which is nice. It's nice to have that every once in a while. Because the key, if our buyers have needing financing, the loan is the key. It's absolutely the key. And we need to stay on top of that because right now we're concentrating on sellers. So we're saying that, okay, we have the listing, and as a listing agent, we need to be on top of these things and making sure the flow, this is contract to close, the flow of this process. Okay, so most of us, not our newer agents so far, but newer agents, you guys get with your mentor or whoever you're working alongside with. You might be working with a team. I don't know. I don't know the makeup of everybody here yet, but you want to have some key, your key partners are definitely your lenders. So make some, I would say 3 to 4 key lenders. I know more, but those are my key individuals that I rely on. So they are excellent to sit down with and say, you know, can you go through the process with me? I have picked the brain. I am a big component of asking questions. That's how I learn. Instead of Viviana, is that you?
Me too. No, May.
Oh, May.
Me too.
So instead of sitting here and reading this, I would go find somebody that I know that they know more than me, and I would go say, hey, you know what? Can you tell me about this? Versus sitting and reading this manual. And hey, nothing against manuals, but that's how I like to learn. I like to learn from other people's experience because they're going to add their insights, their wisdom. Like Lee, super full of wisdom, and Randy yesterday, and people that have been through it. All right, so let's see. Closing disclosure. That's also related to the loan. That's short for our newer agents. You might hear CD.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's super important. These are stepping stones to our closing. The CD, once the CD is sent out to the buyer, there's a 3-day waiting period. It's not a 3-day rescission. It's just a 3-day waiting period. I'm not going to get into all that. Make a note if you want to know more about, oh, what does that mean, Yvonne? Talk to your lender about that, okay? But it's a 3-day waiting period. In short, what that is for the buyers, because of all the catastrophe we had back in the 2007 mortgage catastrophe, this has been implemented because the buyers were making excuses and saying, well, you know, I didn't understand. The loan officer just told me just to sign. So now there's no more excuse. The buyer can't say, oh, I didn't know. Well, You had 3 days to read and ask any questions. So that's what the CD is all about. Our closing. In our state, closing is not done until it's recorded with the county. So if the loan is funded, closing sometimes could be done the same day, but typically it's usually the next day, next business day. And closing has to be recorded with the county. Then you are officially closed. Oh, and that's what the last point is, recording and possession. My favorite part of the whole transaction, I don't have keys, but when I give the keys to my clients, make a big deal. It's the big deal. I made keychains, and it's a house, and it says, what does the front say? Welcome home, and then on the back, small letters, it's engraved, it says Love Yvonne. So it's make it fun. Okay, any questions so far? I know you guys have a ton of questions.
Where did you get the keys made from?
Oh, did I say key? I'm sorry. I meant to say keychain.
Yeah, oh yeah, keychain. Where did you get it made from?
Oh, there's quite a few vendors. That one, I believe, was Magnet USA.
Okay, thank you.
Amazon has bunch of Amazon has bunch of you can just order it like less than $10.
Yeah, and if you do engraving, I think you can write it off, stuff like that. Who asked that question? Was that Stacy?
Rachna.
Oh, Rachna. Okay. Hey, my email is super easy, you guys. Yvonne@KW. If you have any questions, just always email me. I can send you info. Yvonne, it's Yvonne. Yvonne@KW.com. All right. Keep the transaction together. I should have asked you. Can you guys see the PowerPoint?
Yep.
Okay.
I do.
Everybody else can see it?
Yes.
All righty. Oh, here. For those of you guys that like checklist, oh, I don't have to show you, it's right there. It's a good checklist. You know what I like on this, especially for the newer agents? It says the task on the left, and it says, when do you do it? Now, keep in mind, this is nationwide. Some of the things might be a little different. Some states do things differently. Okay, so if there's something kind of contradictory to what you've been hearing from all of us, just ask your mentor, ask anybody. Hey, you know, the best thing too about KW, I think all of us know that already, that we all support each other. Anybody will answer any question, well, usually. Let's put it this way. You can find somebody to answer your question, and for them, and that's our culture. That is definitely our culture. Now, we don't want to disrespect their time if they're super busy and we're interrupting them, but, you know, just text, hey, you know, do you have a minute? I have a quick question. Something like that. All right, so that is the checklist. Listing agent contract to close checklist. Any questions? Any insight?
So these are all printable or seeable at KW University, right? That's what you said.
Yes, and if you email me, I can send it to you guys.
Thank you.
But everything is on KW Connect under KW University.
Mm-hmm.
You just put what you're looking for. So we're on Win with Sellers. I'm sure the offices are going to do next the Win with Buyers.
Mm-hmm.
But everything you might want to know, it's in KW Connect. All right.
My best advice to everyone, I'm Viviana.
Hi, Viviana.
Hi. My best advice is to have checklists for everything you do. When you have open house, have a checklist for open house. When you have a listing, checklist for listing, checklist for listing presentation. Everything you are going to talk with the sellers, it's okay if you bring a checklist and talk with the sellers and have it in front of you. There is nothing wrong with that. It's
Absolutely.
fine.
It's
So,
a way of showing you're organized, right? Viviana?
right. So,
Yeah.
right. and you don't forget anything. And you are more relaxed because you know what is coming next. And it's done. You don't forget. Sometimes I forget. So it helps, checklists help me so much.
Great. Good suggestion. Some of us use it, some of us don't. So if you're a checklist person, absolutely. Okay, seize the golden opportunity. All right, let's see. Let's see, this one, agents have two agendas: to move the current transaction towards a successful closing and to ensure referrals. Most agents don't get that. Okay, so our agenda, this is the golden opportunity. What this is that we've gone through our closing, we've closed, right? And now our golden opportunity was actually during the closing, during the whole transaction. You know, did things flow even when things come up? And things will always come up, you guys. Things will always come up. So don't think that's a bad thing. Don't think you're doing something wrong. It's part of the business. Whenever you have a transaction, things will come up. I'm currently in a transaction. I'm representing the buyer, and my buyers have, let's see, how do I say this? They are extremely, extremely diligent and have had a ton of questions. It's an HOA, so on top of just normal disclosures, it's all the HOA documents. So they have had a ton, and I was on it. I'm not trying to press, I'm just saying, I was on their questions because I knew the type of individuals they were, extremely diligent and detailed, that they wanted to know everything, and not just a surface question. We went deep into each question. So this is your time to shine during the transaction. For those of you, well, who was on the Jason Abram call about 3 or 4 or 5 weeks ago?
What? I don't remember his name.
Jason Abram. He's like one of the top leaders.
What was it about?
Jason Abram. He's one of the top.
Yes, about?
Well, he met with all 3 of our offices. I was just wondering if anybody else remembers that class. I would highly recommend you guys go back. If you email me, I'll look up the date. He was super amazing, and he speaks from his heart. He's super knowledgeable, and he speaks from his heart, and I really respect him, and I really relate to him. What he said that was really hit home to me was that he said, we have to, it boils down to this, is the care we give to our clients. And that's been always my philosophy. When I was a rookie, I call it my rookie. Lee calls it, what do you call it, green pea?
Yeah, a green pea.
Okay, yeah. I've got a sports background. So for me, I call it my rookie years. So when I was a rookie, you know, we get through it. We get through it with help. Of course, I didn't do it alone. I asked a ton of questions. So please, all you newer agents, ask questions. And when you ask us questions, that makes us stronger. And that makes us not just stronger, but on top of it. It's like, oh, wow, that's a good question. And so please always ask questions. And so during my rookie years, I did the best I could with help from everybody else. Now, at that point, when I got my license, I've already bought 1 house, 2 houses, and 1 investment home. So I had a little experience, not a ton, but a little experience about the process. And the main thing is for me, whatever my clients' goals are. Now, May, this is one of your questions, and I'll touch on it now. For those that joined us a little late, or after we started, what I was asking everybody at the beginning is, what questions do you have? Whether it's, well, hopefully it's related to these 3 topics that we're talking about today, but what questions do you have that you'd like for us to make sure we cover today? At least one of your questions. So one of May's questions was, well, how do I convince my clients to do either staging, or you have to do this, or you do have to do that? I don't convince, May. It's them. I will ask them. Let's just role play real quick, May. So May, I'm really excited to help you reach your goal. I know you want to sell your home and move to Hawaii to be closer to family. Now, you tell me, how would you like your listing to go? Would you like to do some sprucing up? Do you have a budget you'd like to work with? Or would you like to just sell it as is? We just do our general cleanup and present it the best we can? Or do you have a budget that we can maybe do a little bit more improvements, and so we can get as much as possible for your property? Which of those 3 would be more suitable for you? So something like that, May, I would be asking.
Give them an option and let them decide.
Absolutely. Never, I don't tell them, sure, we guide and direct, but what if they don't want to spend any money? What if they don't have any money? What if they have little money? And we come in and we say, oh, well, you got to do this. We got to do this. You've got to paint. We've got to do new flooring. You need new carpet. You're going to blow them away. So I give them options.
They will get overwhelmed maybe. Okay, here is just another question came up in my mind. When we talk about doing fresh paint or like polishing floors, do I find those contractors, those labor people?
Yeah. It'd be
it's
nice.
my job, so I become their general contractor as a listing agent.
No,
Not general contractor. You become their
provider.
Advisor. You become their trusted advisor.
Yeah, trusted advisor, but also
you give the options. You give them the options and let them choose, and then you follow up.
Yep. Now, May, you're new. Where are you going to get all these vendors? From the rest of us in your office.
Well, I'm just gonna call Renee.
Not just Renee. But
I'm watching with her. I'm just gonna call Renee.
First of all, your office might already have a vendor list. Our office, San Jose, does. Viviana and Campbell, do you guys have a vendor list?
We do. Yes.
Yeah.
We do.
So May, I'm sure.
I don't even know if you do.
I bet you do. I'm gonna guess you do.
Okay.
So start now. Start now. Get one of each. Get a plumber, get a painter, get a flooring person, get a roofer, get inspector. Just one of each for now. Okay, so good question. Anyone else have any questions or any something that you guys want to make sure we cover? We have 1 more hour. Okay.
It's just coming off my mind like while we go through.
Okay, but the newer guests not visitors, but the newer people that joined, any other questions on your mind for now that you want to make sure we all cover as a group? Okay. All right, let's see. No problem. Okay, let's see. On the manual, I know you guys don't have the manual, but on page 110, when you get the manual, it says to be proactive with all involved. And that's kind of what we were just talking about with your question, May. Is this my job? Yes, it is our job. Remember, you are the conductor, right? So yes, let me tell you, our clients appreciate if we have some trusted vendors that can come and help. At least say, I do have some great resources. I call them resources. I don't call them vendors. I have some great resources. I'd love to introduce you, and then you can talk to them and see if you'd like to work with them, or you can find if you have anyone else you might know. So yeah, I call them the resources. So we want to be very proactive with everybody involved. Commit to being positive and proactive. So I'm in a transaction right now. No, I'm in a pre-listing. No, sorry, coming soon right now. And the painter, he's doing a good job, but we're behind schedule. Very common. Very common. You know, they quote us 4 days, and now we're in our 6th, 7th day, and we're still not finished. So what should we do? Sit there and complain? No. What would be, let's say, anybody, what would you do if you've got a crew in there that's doing work and they're behind schedule?
Well, I will call that labor person, whatever, plumber or painter or flooring or roofer or whatever. I will just really twist their arm, or I don't know. They are not gonna get paid on time either.
Okay, that's one answer. Who else? Who else has an answer?
The other possibility is to explain to the sellers, as well as everyone you hire, that there's a possibility there may be some delays just from shortage of labor and material.
Good answer. Anyone else? Viviana, what would you do?
I'm sorry, I was answering a text from my lender. We are closing in a couple of days. I'm sorry.
It's okay, sweetie. You know what? Sorry, I just can't see everybody. Okay, how about, do we have Stacy and Art? You still there?
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Rashna, what would you do? Are you still there?
I'm here.
Okay. How would you handle it? What would you do? I know you haven't had a transaction, but just in life, what do you do when things are delayed, or, you know, if things aren't on time? I mean, what's a good way to handle it? Because this is very important aspect, you guys, because it's going to happen all throughout the transaction. Whether it's
You have to inform all the parties, find out what the new timelines are looking like. If you're on the buyer side, you have to inform the listing agent so that they can inform the seller. And then if any terms need to be renegotiated, because if the escrow is extending, then sometimes, like, you know, we end up paying the seller's share of like mortgage, and the other issues come up. So then those things are up for dialogues and negotiation again. So you have to, like, you know, find out the new details and then inform all the parties involved and find a settlement.
Love it. Very, very wise. Anybody else? How would someone else handle it?
Well, this is Art. What I would do is first try to figure out why it's getting delayed. If it could be solved, or, you know, if it's just kind of like a misrepresentation or misinformation being passed along. Like, if I'm able to identify, I'll try to like solve that first, like find the reason why it's getting delayed. And if the reason of getting delayed is let's say it's something which is acceptable, or I find like if it's happening for a good reason, then I would like to get it delayed. You know, I mean,
you would like to get delayed if it's a good reason. Is that what you said?
Yeah, if it's like acting in favor for everybody,
okay,
then yeah, it's a like the reason why it needs. If it's getting delayed, then I would think why it's getting delayed, and because getting delayed is not a bad thing all the time, but if it's affecting, or if it's somebody has a concern of the things getting delayed, then I would like to, you know, understand the reason of why. Yeah.
I love that, Art. Good insight. I have something that came up. Madeli, am I pronouncing that correct?
Yes. Hi.
Hi, Madeli. Thank you.
Yeah.
Please forgive me because I can only see one name or picture at a time person, but I saw
Oh,
you
it's okay.
raise your hand.
Yeah. Yes, I was thinking also, I'm a new agent. I haven't had any transactions yet, but I'm more like a problem solver person. And I think that's kind of what I will do. I will see what is the problem and what can be my options to help my client. And, I will offer a solution if I can
Perfect.
around it.
When did you get your license?
In May.
This year?
Yes, ma'am.
Woo!
Yeah. Excited.
You're kind of like me. I got my license in 06 and then 07 hit. And oh gosh, short sales and bank owned. That's all we had. Short sales and bank owned. That's it. So,
Oh, wow.
so you got your license and then COVID, right? Or in the middle of COVID. Wow.
Yeah. Actually, I got the license. I thought I will not get the license because they said they would shut down, but I got it. And the first thing I did is look out for agency. But a lot of people was discouraging me because of the COVID. And as things were shutting down, I started reading the market newsletters, and they say, no, we're good. And so I joined Keller Williams, and I'm very hopeful that things are going to move forward. But this training is actually helping me, especially, I don't know, other agents around. So this is like really giving me the information I needed. And again, I think this is more important to find out the details of things so we can work around it. So thank you so much for explaining that.
Oh, absolutely. Which office are you?
Keller Williams, Santa Cruz.
Oh, Santa Cruz. Okay. All right. Wonderful. Great.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any input? How would you handle a problem that might arise? Right now, we're just talking about a delay on one of the contractors, but anybody else want to give their insight, something different that they would do?
I think, first of all, we need to prevent delays. In our contract says real estate is time is of the essence. So we need to prevent, like it says on the Gary Keller's advice, or that was on the screen when I started the meeting.
Oh yeah.
We have to think that everything may go wrong. What does it mean? We don't have to be so afraid, but we need to prevent any problem that can happen. If I know that the appraisal contingency has to be removed in 10 days, I need to check with the lender when is the appraiser is going to do the appraisal. And I have to be on top of everything so delays don't happen. It is very important that we know what is next. We have to be ready for any situation that we can prevent a delay. Appraisal is one, very common. Inspectors, we have to prevent that. We have to make sure that the buyer has the money in the bank when he's closing. They have the money ready. They have to sell stock. They have to borrow from their 401k. The money has to be ready. Home warranty has to be ordered. The walk through 5 days before closing. So there are certain things that have to happen. So we need a timeline in which we have to be very strict with ourselves and with the people we are working with, and educate our clients that time is of the essence.
Yes.
This way, we are all in the same page. We all understand, we agree when are the deadlines, and we have to do it. There is no excuses.
Good job. Well,
Things happen, it's true, but we need to prevent any delay. That's, to me, I always try to be ready ahead of time so we don't have these kind of problems.
amen. That's wonderful. Very wise. I agree. All the input everybody had was a different component, and we wrapped that all up, and that is our job as the orchestra leader, right? And this is what you were talking about, Viviana. It says, assume everything will go wrong and come up with ways to possibly prevent them from happening or effectively deal with them if they do.
Exactly.
And so the only last thing I want to add, and then we'll move on, is communication is the key. We can do as much as we can, but then we also have to be sensitive. It's not, sometimes even we can do as much as the best job possible, and there's still delays. So what happens when we have delays? We don't put blame on anybody. No blame.
No,
Someone said solving the problem, and I'm sure a few of you touched on it. So, all right, okay. Nope. We have a delay. What we're gonna do? Let me check in with the painter. Let's just see what's the timing, and just reassure our clients that it's okay. We have a little delay. It's not going to hinder. It's not going to hinder very much. And then you tell them next steps, right? But definitely stay on top of it. Communication is the key. And yes, time is of the essence. Once you get in contract, majority of the time it's either 25 to 30-day close. So we do have to be very proactive. Okay.
For example, I'm closing on the 28th a transaction. Everything is done. Everything is done. And what day is today? The 21st.
Everything's done?
Everything is done. We are waiting just for dogs. So why? Because everything, I thought about every single thing that could happen.
Yeah.
And I was ready for everything. And you know what? It doesn't happen always. And makes you, and I can take care of a new client now. I can do and bring more business because all the documents are in. Everything is done. Nothing to worry about.
You're a good agent.
Oh, no. I have a lot to learn. I'm here because I'm learning. And every class has something to teach you.
Yeah, and you always do with a smile, Viviana. Okay, chapter 7. Now, we didn't touch on every single aspect. Now, it's your duty, all of you that are, especially the newer agents, is to get the manual and go back page by page and dig a little deeper. Get into that RPA. How many paragraphs in the RPA?
32.
Very good. Okay.
See, I learned, Lee.
Wow. Wow.
Because we need to know, we need that RPA when you're first, if you don't go to any classes, you get into that RPA. It's going to tell you what's needed. And then you're going to say, oh, well, how do I facilitate these inspections? How do I facilitate the initial deposit? How do I facilitate and explain the contingency periods? How do I explain the what if the appraisal comes in low? All these things, it's in the RPA. Okay, all right, post-close. Now, that means I just handed my keychain with the key to my clients, right? And we had a nice celebration. So when we are starting with our clients, either side, buyer or sellers, and we go all the way through and we close, that's where we show our worth, in my opinion. That's our job, how we did our job, right? So majority of us, even though we have some ups and downs or hurdles, which I like to call it, through the transaction, it's kind of like when you're having a baby. You go through labor, but after, when you have the baby in your arms, you guys won't, well, you guys, if you're a dad, you know what I mean. It's like you forget about the labor part. You got your baby. So you go through your transaction and we close. And now what? Well, if we did a great job, they are now going to keep us in mind for anything related to real estate. So this is where our post-close systems come into play. So we have these last two chapters are short and they're pretty self-explanatory. You know, what's the best way? First of all, we did a job and we did a great job. That's where we're supposed to, that's where we shine, right? That's where we show that the kind of job that we do. Now, if we did a proper job, then most likely they will refer us and use us again and again. So, but not only that, we have to keep in touch. And this is what in the next chapter is post-close. Okay, so it's all about systems. Viviana, you were talking about that. You were talking about having checklists. Actually, at the end of that manual, there's scripts and tools. Can you guys see this? Anyway, a ton of scripts, and the tools in the back of the manual is also checklists. All right, so what does this, where are we? Avoid pitfalls. Well, we kind of talked about that. Dropping contact with clients after closing, leaving all the rapport and equity on the table instead of getting numerous deals from them. So what does that mean exactly? Well, we as in KW, we should know what that means because we talk about it a lot, is the 32 touch. Now, if the 32 touch is a little bit overwhelming for some of you, and I'm kind of in that boat because, not overwhelming, but at least if my goal is at least, this is after closing, every other month. At least. So what does that mean? That's only 6 touches, right? Well, Yvonne, you only touch 6? No, that's a minimum, at least. For some of you that know me, you know I take care of my mom and she's first priority. And at times I'm not able to do everything that I would like to do, but minimum every other month that I follow up with my clients. So what do you guys think about doing a survey? This is what this is talking about, getting testimonials and reviews. Does anybody do this on a consistent basis? Ask for reviews or testimonials or referrals? And how do you do that?
I just made my transaction and I represented buyer. What I did was when I was giving her a key, I got a champagne and wine tray. My daughter made them wine charms. And then before we closed, when we were at the house for inspector, we were talking about trees and like cutting them or like trimming them. I asked her if she likes to have a tree trimmer as a housewarming gift. She said sure. So I got her a gift card from Home Depot for $100. She was super happy about it. And then we like popped the champagne, little bit sort of partied. And then after that, I went to listing agent, got him a Chardonnay with the carrying box. And then I got my famous rosé from France for title company lady with the bag again. And I asked my buyer before I leave the house, before I left the house, can I share, you know, like our videos and pictures celebrating house buying? This is happening like 2 weeks ago. And she said, wait for it, because her girlfriend's parents didn't know. And she asked me to wait for it. And it was last weekend. So the time she gave me, parents will come and see the brand new house, like new house for them last weekend. So this week, probably I should call them and ask them their permission to share their champagne popping videos on Facebook page and asking them testimonials probably and referrals again.
Yeah, absolutely. And anyone else, can you guys share, especially the ones that have been in the business for a while, what do you do? How do you keep in touch, number one? And number two, do you ask for referrals, testimonials, reviews? And how do you do that?
Talk to us, Lee.
Well, we have two other, yeah. Lee, are you still on with us?
Viviana, Lee.
Okay.
Lee, you are muted. We don't hear you.
Okay, listen, the very best time to ask for that referral is to take out your phone and turn on the video and just ask them, how did the transaction go? And let them record how surprised they were that the whole thing came together and what a big help you were. And people are going to see not just the testimony of the writing, but most people are really visual in this regard. And a 10-second video will propel your reputation across a lot of different spectrums in social media, where a letter or a paragraph, most people don't read.
So you are asking your clients to record like 1-minute video, talk about me, how awesome I am.
Let me tell you what I did. I prepared some sellers for a listing I had in Almaden last year for the fact that their property was worth whatever, with the list price. I didn't tell them that we had an offer that was 20% over asking. So I videotaped them after the first 7 offers. And I said, okay, I have 1 offer left, and that's when the video starts. And when I told them how much was being offered, they were completely blown away. It's about an 18 or 20-second video. I'll see if I can download it so you guys can see it.
Oh, I'd love to.
If anybody asks, how good was he? You should see the reaction of these clients, but do ask for a video if people are really happy with you. That's my suggestion.
I love it. That's a great suggestion. Now, not everyone will, might want to do video, and some people are a little bit more personal, right? I mean, not personal, private. But I love that but some people like, absolutely, here. I take pictures. I take a lot of pictures, but I love the video. Okay, anyone else want to share how you might ask for referrals or testimonials or survey? I haven't really done a survey, but
I ask them when they are very happy, when in any moment during the transaction, I tell them, because they are very excited that they got it. They're very excited what happened. Anything, any situation. I said, oh my gosh, I am so happy to have you as my client. I am so grateful you came to me. And I express to them how grateful I am. I tell them, and I said, how do you feel about my services helping you? Because they are so happy at the moment. They don't think about anything wrong at the moment. They are so, and because I told them, oh, how wonderful they are, they would tell me the same thing. I said, would you please go to Yelp or any site and write a review about me? I would love it. You have no idea how much that will mean to me, more than anything in the world.
Nice.
And of course, they will say yes. And then when I at the end of the transaction, I asked them, do you want a hard copy of all the documents? Do you want the documents in a CD, in a flash drive, or just I can send you in a folder over an email? How do you like it? And they tell me. So usually it's a CD or a flash drive.
Mm-hmm.
And I write a nice letter to them again. And I tell them under my signature, your referrals and your testimony is so important to me. Please go to this site and write a review. And if they didn't do it yet, I call them, hey, you forgot to write a review for me. Don't forget, you know what, guys? That's all I ask you. Because I gave them a present. I gave them the copy of documents. I asked them. Before I was so shy. I didn't ask anybody. I asked them once, very shy, and didn't follow up. And I didn't get it. People it's not important to them. They are so busy with the move or whatever they are doing in their lives.
Absolutely.
They forget. And if you don't give them how important it is to you,
Yeah.
if you don't show it, they won't do it. So now I have a lot of 5 stars, but not too many, but I have a few. So I wish I started before doing that.
It's okay. You're doing good. As long as we keep moving forward. Let's see, Mardeli, sorry. You raising your hand?
Oh, no.
Oh, okay, that was still from before. Okay, I want to go on and touch, anybody else, sorry, anybody else want to add? Okay, we have about 20 more minutes, so I just wanted to finish up. This is touching on what Viviana just mentioned. Can you guys see that screen okay? This is follow up with customers. Now again, this chapter, we're on chapter 7, it's post-close systems. So we want to keep in touch. Actually, the second we close, we're just going to go right back in the cycle again, right? Because eventually they're going to need your help, or they definitely will know somebody that will need real estate help. So we want them to think of us. So per NAR, which is National Association of Realtors, who gave us this data, they ask questions every year. Would you use or recommend listing agent again? And they said definitely. What? Look, almost 70%. Now go down to the second graph. How many times seller recommended the agent? Look at 40%, none. One time, 15%, all under 20%. And why do you think that is? Why do you think they had a great experience with us, but they didn't recommend us to anyone? Why do you think?
We don't follow up.
Yes.
They forget about us.
They forget about us. Hey, they got lives. We were super important at that time.
But
And
life is moving on.
absolutely. So my notes I put is we have to super emphasize us as agents to keep in touch. Now, are we going to keep in touch like we did the last 2-3 months? No, it's a different theme. It's a different theme. And on that note, this could be, wait, is this one? Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
On mine, it's kind of small, but I don't want to touch this and lose it.
Yeah.
I don't want to lose it. So I wanted to share touch campaigns.
What do you write for thank you notes? Like thank you card, like right after you close the transaction, what will you say? English is my second language, Yvonne. It's important that you give me a clue over here.
Okay, you know what the clue is?
Yeah.
You get, look at May. Can you see, you guys, can you see?
I
this?
do. Uh-huh.
So when I find, now this is at closing is what you asked me.
Mm-hmm.
So at closing, I bought a bunch of these cards, so I have them ready to go. You know, when I find a card I like, I buy a handful. This is for closing though.
Mm-hmm.
May the key that opens your front door be more than that to you. May it be the key to brand new joys and still more dreams come true. Congratulations. Why not write that? Well,
you need to read it slow.
No. Email me. I'm going to take a photo and I'll send it to you guys. But not only this, you know, sometimes I don't know what to write. I'll Google, you know, cards or what's that called when you, I don't know, but you can look up cards and you can get ideas. Now, that's at closing. Oh, let me show you my basket.
Well, I have that too.
Okay, so on my note, you guys, see? This is when we get personal. So this is after closing. Very good.
You see this?
Even though we may be apart, we'll get through this together. Very nice.
And this is just postcard. You don't put it in an envelope. I sent 70 of these to people I know from my daughter's school. I got really good feedback, but there's nothing about real estate right.
But May, right? That's one touch, right? Right. So going back to this slide, you guys, our job is our follow-up. This is after the close. We're on chapter 7. So how do we do that? Well, all these other events and celebrations and everything on this. The key is to be memorable. When you send something, oh, okay, let me show you what I made. I like yellow. I like yellow. It stands out. I don't just do a white envelope.
Yeah, I agree.
So I printed this. I don't know if you guys can see. Can you guys see this?
It's printed your address.
Okay. Yeah, this is the office one. Yeah, this is the office. You can print these. It doesn't cost that much. Vistaprint, inexpensive. But I like yellow because it stands out in the mail.
What does it say? Can I see, Yvonne? Oh, nice.
And you can pick the what do you call it?
The image.
Image, thank you. And so, but this is my thank you card that so when I very first started real estate, I didn't want to be the typical, oh, Yvonne Zinsman at such and such, blah, blah, blah. So I did Yvonne at cherishyourhome.com, Cherish Your Home. All those other things with the dream home and the this and the that, they're all taken. So I tried to find something. So I came up with Cherish Your Home. So that's my website, cherishyourhome.com. So on my card, when you go to Vistaprint, this is a thank you card, but you can change the text to whatever you want.
Mm-hmm.
Can you guys see this card?
Mm-hmm.
Don't put it too close, a little bit farther. Yeah, no, there you are. Oh,
okay. Very simple. There's a little flower. I mean, I know you guys are not going to do the flowery thing, but there's endless choices. But
Just found this one on Amazon, $11.
Okay.
48 cards
Yeah.
for $11. So 36 pack for $11.
Yeah, so just make it memorable. Take some time. I do like a different color because when you get mail, we all get mail, right?
Yeah, it disappears.
Okay, so if I just had a white, it would disappear. But oh, what's this yellow? What's this yellow? What's this one? Oh, that's different. I'd be more apt to open it. But anyway, just wanted to show that to you guys.
May, where did you buy the card?
I made it at Vistaprint. Oh, you talking to May?
Which one? That pandemic card?
Yes.
Well, I don't really remember exactly, but I said we are having pandemic. Everybody is doing their own part. I appreciate for that.
But where did you make it? Michael Lewis? Where did you make it?
No, I just bought them from Amazon.
Oh, Amazon. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. All right.
I saw that on Bold Pivot.
Oh, good.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, question for you guys. Who here focuses on profit share?
I don't even know what is that.
Okay, we're not going to get into it too much, but okay, I'm sorry, I don't even see anybody anymore. Again, I only see one person. Who here focuses on profit share?
You can go to where you see the one person, see that there are little squares, a lot of little squares.
I know, but I just don't want to lose. I guess you know what? We're almost done. In case I do lose the PowerPoint, we're almost done. So let me do that.
We don't see your PowerPoint anymore.
You don't?
I do.
You do?
Viviana doesn't see it, but I do see it.
Oh,
Touch campaigns.
No.
Too bad. Did you see it before?
Well, I got it now. Yes, I got it.
Okay. Anyway, there's not too much. The conclusion is a simple thing. Okay. So, all right, let me just put it this way. I focus on profit share. What about, do you guys ever think about keeping in touch with your cooperating agent who you just did a transaction with? Does anybody keep in touch with their cooperating agent?
What do you mean, like the business I did, like listing agent that I closed? Do you mean that
Yeah,
agent?
the co-op the co-op agent, that means the other agent that you're in the transaction with.
I got him a wine.
That's very nice. But keeping in touch, I'm talking about. Because we'll talk more. I don't want to take up the class with profit share, but that was one of like, wow, really? On top of everything else, when I learned about KW, they have profit share. It's like, wow. I love it. Because I'm a type of person that I share. If I like something, I share, right? So that's if you introduce someone to the office, May, or not just the office, not your office, anywhere in KW in the world, you have an opportunity to share in profit. And we can go more into that. Actually, ask Elaine to explain that to you. That would be better.
Well, I know. I think you gave one of the agents' name when you signed with the Keller Williams, and that agent gets some sort of money from royalty money, right?
They may get profit share.
I think I picked Mary Phyllis because she was my teacher when I was studying
Great.
Real estate. You know, like that night classes I was going to.
Nice.
I guess she gets paid, but I don't think nobody is gonna pick me. I'm too new. It's gonna take years to get something.
No, don't say that. No. Well, if you ever want to talk, just call me, okay?
Okay.
And I'll share with you.
Okay.
Profit share, what a tremendous bonus. And we can leave it to our family. We what's that called? When you
inheritance.
Yeah. It's amazing. And for what? Just to share. So anyway, keep it in mind. I would keep in touch with your co-op agents, okay? Send them a card. You don't have to do it every other month. What about once a quarter? What about just sending a text? Hey, thinking about you. The best thing, invite them to a class. Once a month, invite your co-op agents. And it doesn't even have to be who you just did a transaction with. It can be anybody that you network with. Eventually, it's just a numbers game, there will be agents looking for a different brokerage. Okay, all right, any other input? Anybody want to add anything in regard to what we talked about so far? Okay. Go ahead if anybody has any insight, any input. We're winding down here.
Believe it or not, dogs are in escrow now to sign, and we close tomorrow. For my son. Oh my gosh.
The girl.
Money, feels good.
Feels so good. Feels so good.
Good.
Wonderful.
Congratulations, Viviana.
Congratulations. All right. Now this last chapter, when you guys download, they don't even have it. I guess 8 is, it's not part of the cycle, but it's I guess this is in conclusion. In conclusion of all this cycle, it doesn't end. That's why they were saying it's a cycle, because it's always continuous. So even if it's not that client that you just closed with, but it's definitely they know someone. Right? So we want to do a good job. We want to keep in touch. So when the topic comes up of real estate, it's like, oh, you got to call Viviana. You got to call May. We had a great experience with them, right? Our job is to keep top of mind. Let's see, retrieve your one thing statement. Oh, that's prior. Oh, so the other thing that it talks about is accountability. Oh, I just wanted to share something that came to me. We always hear this. Well, some of you newer agents, you're going to hear it a lot. Oh, your accountability partner. You know who's my accountability? You know who keeps me accountable? You guys want to know?
Yeah, who?
Oh, wait, I just had to laugh at myself. Let's see. I guess it's not on here. Okay, I wrote down on my sheet, my creditors, my mortgage company, my PG&E, my insurance companies, everybody that I have to pay money, bills. They're my accountability partners. I'm not saying I don't need an accountability partner, you know, I have colleagues that, like it says, partners in success here in our accountability. But for the newer agents, it's good to have a pal / mentor / whoever you want to pick to have somebody that you check in with and that you're accountable to. But for me, like I said, my mortgage company, they're my accountability partners. Like, okay, if I don't make my bills, if I don't pay my bills, then yes.
I love checklists, and that's my best accountability partner, my checklists.
Your checklist, okay. This other, in the conclusion, I know you guys don't, again, and it's not printed here on these PowerPoints, it says, a final note, don't get overwhelmed. Remember, it's not just one thing, it's one thing at a time. So I love that.
That's true.
Yeah, and that's going to be on page chapter 8 under the conclusion chapter. Don't get overwhelmed. Remember, it's not just one thing, it's one thing at a time. And we talked about that, you know.
And I learned that when I am working in one thing, I have to put all my energy. You know, sometimes in your mind, there are so many things. Oh, I have to call this person. I have to do that. I have to do that. No, 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 no. Come back to the one I am working on, yep. And you will finish faster.
Yeah.
You'll be done.
One thing at a time. For me, I have to prioritize because in one day, and when you have multiple clients, multiple transactions going up, and if for some of you that are on the call, the class, we mentor. So, you know, we help others. So we have to prioritize.
Yeah.
The important things, okay, today I've got to get done 1, 2, and 3 minimum, right? So, but I did like that. It's one thing at a time.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Does anybody need help with, does anyone think that they need an accountability partner?
I have a question about that one thing. I did not read the book, but I did Pivot and I did, you know, like lots of class with the KW, and everybody's talking about like one thing. Jason Abrams, the classes you were talking about, yes, I listened to him. He was super sweet, speaking from heart, and I liked him. Until that day, I did not know his name. And I don't know any other the coaching or mentoring names from Pivot, but only Abrams, because the way he speaks, I liked it. But what I want to ask is, like, Yvonne, Lee, and Viviana, you three are very experienced agents compared to me. I am like 6-8 months old in this business. What are your one thing you do for finding your next customer, you know, for listing, for having listing or for having buying agreements?
Okay, I could sum this up, and I tell people all the time this. You got to talk to people.
We're in pandemic, Yvonne. We don't get that out.
We have to talk to people. We have to communicate with people. I tell the new agents, okay, your job, go talk to people. I didn't say you have to be in person, May. Right?
Where, even if you're on your gym clothes, like I am at this moment because I was exercising, playing tennis, wear your name tag everywhere. You're waiting in the supermarket to pay. They will ask you, oh, are you a realtor? Yes. How is the market going? Everybody will ask you, how's the market? How's the market? They don't care.
That's Renee's style.
That's what I do all the time. You know, talk to people. And I ask people, so tell me, what do you do for a living? What's your job? And you get fascinated with their job. And the question they will always ask, and what do you do, Viviana? What do you do?
Very good. Lee, what's your words of wisdom?
Well, it's really simple. Both Yvonne and Viviana may have demonstrated exactly how to talk to people. Remember that when you first started talking to Yvonne and she wanted to tell you what she did with a new client, she opened with a question about how the client was doing. She didn't tell them about real estate.
No.
And what Viviana does is she talks to people and asks them, how are they? What are they doing? What are they doing during the pandemic? These are pearls of wisdom. They open with a personal approach and an interest, because, you know, people don't really care how much you know until they know how much you care about them. And once you open, not with a typical realtor comment about, well, this is the real estate, this is that, and you open, how are you guys doing? How's the pandemic affected you? And you've got to make sure that what you express, what you leave them with, is a sense of hope and a sense of perspective that things are going to get better. But the great part about the pandemic is this for you, May. Most realtors always have the answers, and we are at a time when no one has the answers, and you can simply say that. Because when you're open and honest with people, they begin to trust you. It doesn't matter whether you're selling avocados or buildings in downtown Manhattan. That first step is an emotional connection step. It's not about, let me impress you with what I know. Let's find out how you're doing. And those are real pearls of wisdom, as you've seen.
Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Lee. Well, I am people person, you know, like just now, like in an hour, I don't know any of you. Yeah, I'm people person.
So talk to people. Our job, we got to go talk to people. That's it. Honestly, we can keep it super simple. I got to simplify things. And for me, I mean, even before the pandemic and all this, I like to simplify it. I'm not saying there's a lot more to it, obviously, right? Art, are you still in class, Art?
Art is gone.
Okay, I mention this to him a lot. I say this word a lot, finesse. It takes a lot of finesse, but you're gonna learn that. You're gonna learn that as you go. Are you familiar with that word, May? Okay, so this is finesse. Example. I call you and I say, you're the listing agent, I'm the buyer agent, I have an offer for you. Hey, May, this is Yvonne Keller Williams. Hey, I just showed my client your home, she likes it. How many offers do you have?
It has been on the market only for 3 days, so I don't have any offers yet.
Oh, so no offers. Okay. Well, you know, my clients are very committed and well approved, and we're gonna put an offer in. Okay. Okay.
Sure.
Talk to you later.
Okay.
All right. Versus, hi May, this Yvonne from Keller Williams. How are you?
Oh, I am fine, Yvonne. How are you?
Oh, great. You know, I'm so excited for my client. We just visited 123 Ocean, your new listing. Oh, they absolutely love it.
Nice. Good to hear. Glad to hear that.
They absolutely love it. And we've been diligently looking, and they are well approved. We're working with a fantastic lender.
Nice.
Can you please just let me know what the status is? Do you have any offers?
Still active, only have been a week on the market, so we don't have any offers, but would you consider writing an offer?
Oh, absolutely. That's why I'm checking in. Anything in particular, because I like to give a nice solid offer, something that you don't have to counter. So I just want to make sure, is there anything specific that your sellers are looking for? Do you happen to need any rent back, anything like that?
No rent back. They really like to get listing price.
Okay.
And neighbors are awesome. You know, you are going to be so close to ocean.
Oh, wonderful.
Please consider, you know, those neighbors are pretty cool.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
That's important. Yeah. Thank you. What about, I just want to confirm, refrigerator and washer and dryer included, right?
All, yes, all yours.
Okay, fantastic. Great. Anything else would you like to let me know so I can tell my clients?
Not at the moment. Nothing comes in my mind at the moment. I don't think we have anything like deep note.
Wonderful. And you already opened up escrow, right, with First American?
Sure, yes. It's all described at the MLS, as you see.
Okay, fantastic.
And please send me also proof of funds, you know.
Okay, will do. So thank you so much. We're going to prepare the offer, and then if by chance you get an offer, do you mind just giving me a call just to let me know? But we are preparing one, okay?
Sure, sure. When should I expect it? Today, tomorrow?
Either tonight or first thing in the morning.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Vaughn. Nice to meeting you over the phone.
Okay, Annie, thanks.
Right.
See,
Wonderful.
I am natural.
You are. You're so good.
Okay, that's finesse. And honestly, it's a 2 or 3 minute call. I don't go overboard. But I want them to see what it would be like working with me. So you just set the stage, right? I've had both of those calls and everywhere in between as a listing agent. Some agents are super abrupt and, you know, but I like to use the word finesse. This business, there's a lot of finesse involved, May, and I'm not sure, again, I'm sorry to keep saying that. I don't know who else is on our class, but there's a lot of finesse, and that's what you're going to learn. There's an art to, so I officiate volleyball. That's my out, kind of. That's my, I love volleyball. I coached, I played many years, I coached many years, and now I officiate. And you can be an official, like just, you know, black and white, or you can have the philosophy. Of course, there's rules we have to uphold, but then there's the art of officiating, right? The interaction, the communication, the especially like interacting with coaches and things like that. So it's the art, it's the finesse. So I'd like to leave you on that note. There's a lot involved in a transaction, and that's why you need a mentor to take you step by step. And even us that have been doing this for a while, we still all have questions. They're different.
I just made a posting on the comment section. Please go and see that house. I missed that house.
What? I'm sorry.
It's in your area, Hall Avenue. It's in Santa Clara. Do you see that house? Went on the market today. That is my cousin's house. Okay. And he sold the house before that for $830,000 in Fruitdale apartment complex. I know you know that what I am talking about. So that cousin didn't pick me over Redfin for 1%, and it hurt me. It did hurt me a lot, and I really hate Redfin. I mean, when I say this, I am using hate, and I do.
Okay, so May, I want to stop you.
Yeah.
Just to help you on this. I hear you. It hurts. We've all had it. And
I mean, I could have over $3 million transaction in my first 6 months if it wasn't that 1%. I talked to Elaine. She advised me as much as she can. I was coaching back then before pandemic with the Pam Kimmel. And honestly, the way my cousin held it, the way he spoke with me and like asked me things, they just told me to not work with him. As a family and friends, you know, like you don't want to work with any person like that. Some businesses in real estate, they told me I would want to walk away, and I just had a brief conversation with my husband this morning. He supports their idea too, but like with that 1%, I lost basically more than $100,000.
Yeah, it hurts. We can relate.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And like that home is $2 million listing price, but it's gonna go over 2.4.
When you say 1%, you're talking, but he has to pay.
Redfin and Keller Williams. Redfin was 1% commission less than Keller Williams.
Oh, just
and my cousin picked Redfin agent, Redfin over Keller Williams because of that 1%.
Oh, I understand.
So 2.5 plus $830,000 condo. It was almost $3.5 million transaction. He was holding it, and 1% was big deal.
Yeah.
But still, sometimes even family relationship has a price,
Yeah. It's yeah.
May, I think I don't expect everybody to work with me.
Well, I
wish
did. My cousin would
everybody-
work with me.
I wish everybody, my friends and my family, but it doesn't always happen.
Yeah.
And I have to think it is their prerogative to choose whoever they want to work with. It doesn't have to be me. I made that decision for myself not to be offended, never, when a friend or a family member.
But you know what he did?
Yeah.
Really offend me. Listen, this is not ending here. 2 weeks ago, he called me. He never calls me. He called me on a Friday, the day I was closing my first transaction with some stranger. He called me and he asked me, he knows I have almost 400 agents between 3 locations, like Mike Sibilia's network.
Yep.
And he knows that most of those agents are in his area, Santa Clara. And I told him, I have really huge marketing power if you list with me before MLS, this is huge power. He knows that because we have spoken months ago about that. He called me and he asked me to share this listing when it was coming soon with Redfin on MLS 2 weeks ago. And he told me, buyer's agents will cut you some slack. He told me that. And then I said, I think I made a good decision not to work with this cousin. After I heard that,
May, you absolutely did. You absolutely did. You know why? This is a two-way street, May.
Yeah.
You got to have people that you want to work with, but people also that respect you.
Yeah, no, he's completely not respectful. Yeah.
So
and that moment, I said, yes, I made a good decision. I'm glad Elaine didn't cut that 1% or he didn't say okay, because he would really abuse me maybe in next 30 years because he put 1% over, he will maybe abuse me by word, but today, this morning at 7:30 or something, he sent me a text and I was just awake and I said, wish you good luck, wish you best fortune with your new sale.
Yeah.
And what else but after I saw the house, I was like, damn.
But you don't want these people, May, they will drive you crazy. And also there is kind of a guiding philosophy. I'll just share a little bit with you. It goes like this. When you're really in need and there's a door opening, you think maybe the prayers were answered, whatever you were trying to do ecclesiastically. And sometimes when things don't happen, we think we missed out, but it could have been, there's a greater plan that you need to be someplace in the future and you will get there if every door is open. You need some of those doors to shut because you're on a path to arrive at a point that you're not at yet. And so there is a philosophy in theology.
Everything happens for a reason. Yeah.
Yeah, that you got to press through to get to. I'll talk about that later. But at any rate, actually, this is a good thing because one really bad client, when you're new, may cause you to change careers.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
I sent Elaine, Renee, and Rosie, our office manager, the text by text. I have 4 of us in a text chain. I said, that could have been mine. And then Elaine said, you have to walk away in some transactions in this career and you have to decide that. And then I said, I trust my ladies. I call them my ladies. They are like Charlie's angels. They are like my angels. I trust them more than my cousin now.
And it could hurt the family too. It could hurt his parents with your parents. The
Oh no,
relationship
that's what I am saying.
for
Like he
anything.
could abuse me for next 30
Yeah,
years
not worth
because
it.
he
Not
chose
worth
1% over Keller Williams because of me. You know, like it could go so nasty in the family, and that's what my
Go
husband's policy. My husband is a diamond dealer. He's a high-end jeweler. He makes good, and we own our own store in downtown Santa Cruz. So he has his own policy. Never do business with friends and family. It always goes nasty. It doesn't matter. You don't make money because you give them discount or you give them some, you know, like something more than what you give the
May,
regular
you will
customers.
have
And then it goes bad.
more business coming in. Forget it. Just get that you're casting off your mind.
I just need a bottle of wine for today.
Yes, of course.
Tomorrow I will be fine.
I wish you all the success. I wish you the best.
Yeah.
And you
Thank
will
you.
do very well. I'm sure you will do very, very well.
Thank you.
Me
Thank
too.
you. Nice to meeting you, all of you.
Yes, but May, I do want to
Okay.
mention one thing. May, you said something, and I just want you to be aware of this. Now, of course, you're amongst friends and family here, you know, but our code of ethics, we don't talk bad about any other agency, any other agent, any other brokerage.
Rixon. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay.
It's okay. No, you're among, that's,
It's okay. It's okay.
I am too emotional
You're fine
today
with us.
about that listing.
I just wanted you to, I wasn't sure if you knew that.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Yeah, just.
I did not actually know that about code of ethics part.
Yeah, the code of ethics,
yeah.
we don't talk bad about any, so. let's
Don't
say-
trash anybody.
No. Mm-mm.
May, if you want to do something when their escrow closes, bring him a nice bottle of wine, take the high road, and no matter what he says about the other realtor, just agree with him.
Yeah.
But if you show up as someone taking the high road, he's going to realize that you never took personal offense. It's a better thing for everybody all the way around. And here's what happens. There's nothing better than a converted sinner. So in the future, if he decides that he has somebody that he needs, that needs real estate services, and he's already been through the Redfin mill, he might decide to simply recommend you, knowing how thorough you've been on the transactions you've done. Take the high road. Don't take any of the stuff personally. Keep moving forward in a progressive manner as you are, being open and honest, but don't let these trivialities pull you down. Move forward. Move forward. You're
Move
doing
forward.
great.
Let it go. Let it go.
Thank you.
Okay.
Let it go.
Let it go. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you
Thank
for,
you, Yvonne.
thank
That's
you
great.
for all the added involvement. I love that in the classes. So, and I appreciate all of you being here for the full 2 hours.
Thank you. It was
and
great.
Please
It was
contact.
fun.
Yeah, it was fun. Please contact me anytime, you guys. Oh, thank you, Mardelli. And we'll see each other in the next class down the road.
We will. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you. Recording. Stop recording.